everything started to become more dangerous. Not because we were doing too much, but because we weren't doing anything at all. There were no more kisses after that day. No touches that crossed the line. No confessions. Nothing that could be given a clear name. Only looks that lingered one beat too long. Silences between lines. Moments when we stood too close, and neither of us stepped back. "You forgot your line again," Barrett said, his voice calm, but his eyes weren't. "I didn't forget," I replied. "I was trying something different." "Different how?" "More natural." Barrett raised an eyebrow. "Natural or distracted?" I looked at him. No dodging. "What do you think?" No one said a word. The whole group was watching us. Waiting. Always waiting to see when we would finally cross the line. "Keep going," the director called, breaking the tension. We continued. Scene 9. The one near the end. The scene where the two characters stopped hiding. I stood facing Barrett. My heart was racing. Not from the pressure, but because I knew exactly where this scene was headed. "I tried to forget you," I said. It wasn't the original line, but the director didn't cut. Maybe because it felt right. Barrett looked at me, eyes deep, real. "Then why are you still here?" His voice dropped lower, closer. It wasn't just acting anymore. I took a deep breath. "Because I can't." A heavy silence. Suffocating. "Can't or won't?" I stepped forward. One step, then another. The distance disappeared. Both. No one called cut. No one stopped us. And this time, no one interrupted. I don't remember who started it. Maybe me, maybe him, or maybe both at the same time. But when I realized we were kissing, the second time, it wasn't like the first time. Not rushed. It was slow. Like both of us were learning how to touch each other without breaking everything. Barrett's hand rested on the back of my neck. Gentle. As if he were holding me there. Or holding himself. I didn't know. I only knew. I didn't want to pull away. "Cut." This time the director's voice rang out. But not sharp. Not angry. Just surprised. We separated. Slower than necessary. And when I looked around, everyone was staring. Not like last time. Not shocked. Not uncomfortable. But captivated. "Keep that," the director said. "That's what I want." My heart pounded. Not from embarrassment, but because I no longer knew what that was. Acting or real. After rehearsal, no one teased us. No one asked. But I saw their eyes. The looks that knew too much. And that unsettled me more than any question could. "You free tonight?" Barrett asked as we left the studio. I froze. "What do you mean?" "Just somewhere," he said. "Not rehearsal." Not rehearsal. 3 simple words. But they made my heart skip. "Yeah," I answered before I could overthink it. "I'm free." Barrett gave a small nod. 8 o'clock. I'll text you the place." I spent nearly an hour just choosing a shirt. It sounded ridiculous, but I couldn't stop, not because I wanted to impress him, but because I didn't know what this was. A hangout? A date? Or just two people trying to figure out what was happening between them? A small bar, warm golden lighting, soft music. Not too crowded. Not too loud. Barrett was already there when I arrived. Sitting in the corner. Like always, I walked over. "You're early." "You're on time." I smiled faintly. A rare occasion. Barrett's lips twitched, one of his rare smiles. "Sit." We ordered drinks. We talked about normal things. Classes, professors, New York, the future. Things that had never existed between us before. And the strange part was, it was easy, natural, no awkwardness. "Are you always like this?" I asked. "Like what?" "Distant," I said. Different on stage, different off. Barrett thought for a moment. Maybe. Why? He looked at his glass, then said, because off stage, it's harder to control. I chuckled softly. You lose control too? Barrett looked up at me. Lately, yeah. My heart stuttered. Because of who? The question slipped out before I could stop it. Barrett didn't answer right away. He just looked at me, then said, you already know the answer. Barrett. Yeah. I hesitated, then asked, where is this going? The question I had been avoiding, but couldn't avoid forever. Barrett didn't answer immediately. He looked at me, like always, then said, I don't know. Straightforward. No evasion. But I know one thing. What? He leaned toward me, closer, not touching, but close enough for me to feel his breath. I don't want it to stop. My heart pounded. And you? The question came back. Like always, no escape. I looked at him, for a long time, then said, me neither. That night when we left the bar, neither of us spoke. We didn't need to. The air between us said enough. Outside the dorm, I stopped. So, see you tomorrow? Yeah. A silence. Neither of us moved. Neither turned away. Just stood there. Waiting. Always waiting. Adler. What? Barrett stepped forward. One step. Then another. This time, he said quietly, it's not acting. I nodded slightly. I know. And then, he kissed me. No stage. No lights. No audience. Just the night. And the two of us. And this time, I didn't doubt anything anymore. After that night, everything between me and Barrett could never go back to the way it was. And the strange thing was, we still didn't give it a name. No one said, we're dating. No one said, I like you. No one said, what is this? But Barrett started waiting for me after every rehearsal. I started looking for him in the crowd before I looked at anyone else. We sat next to each other more, touched each other more, and we stopped pretending it was just accidental. You're smiling to yourself. My roommate's voice pulled me out of my thoughts. I froze. What? You, he pointed at my face, since you got back, like you're thinking about someone. I turned away. It's nothing. Yeah, he shrugged. If you say so. I didn't answer, but I knew. I knew I couldn't hide it forever. That day's rehearsal went smoothly, too smoothly. It made me uneasy. Let's redo the final scene. The director said, this time, push it further. I looked at Barrett. He was looking at me too. No words, but we both understood. The final scene. The one where everything broke open. The one where the two characters had nothing left to lose. I can't keep going like this, I said. My voice real, not acting. Barrett stepped closer. Slow. Like always. Then don't. I don't know how to stop. A silence. Then don't stop. We stood so close. Too close. But this time, no one was watching us. No one cared. Because everyone was pulled into the story. Into us. I'm scared, I said. Not in the script. But true. Barrett didn't stop. Me too. One more step. The distance vanished. So why are we still doing it? He looked at me. Because some things are worth the risk. And then, we kissed. No one was surprised anymore. No one was shocked. Because this time, it belonged to the story. Or at least, it looked that way. Cut. The director said, voice low, satisfied. That's it. No one clapped. No one said anything. But I knew. We had touched what they wanted. something that couldn't be faked. After rehearsal, I didn't leave right away, didn't say anything, just stood there, waiting, like always. Walk? Barrett asked. I nodded. The campus at night was quiet. Streetlights glowing yellow. A light breeze. Everything slowed down. No more pressure. No more eyes on us. Just us. Doesn't it feel weird to you? I asked. What? That we do all of this in front of other people, but say nothing when it's just the two of us. Barrett smiled faintly. Yeah, so why do we still do it? He didn't answer right away. We kept walking, for a long time. Then he said, because if we say it out loud, it becomes more real. I frowned. Isn't it real enough already? Barrett stopped, turned to me. This time his eyes didn't dodge. How real do you want it to be? My heart pounded. I don't know. Then that's your answer. I stayed silent, not because I agreed, but because I wasn't sure I was ready. Barrett. Yeah. Why me? That question I had kept inside for so long, and finally, it slipped out. Barrett looked at me. No dodging. Which answer do you want? The real one. Because you're not like anyone else. I let out a laugh. Sounds like a line from a movie. Yeah, he nodded lightly, but it's still true. Can you be more specific? Barrett stepped closer. Not too close, but close enough that I couldn't look away. You don't pretend, he said, even when you try. My chest tightened. You always feel real, even when you hate it. I didn't say anything, because he was right. Again. And Barrett paused for a second. I can't stop wanting to pull you out of that shell. The air grew heavy. Dangerous. What about you? He asked. Why me? I swallowed. Not because I didn't have an answer, but because there were too many. I don't know, I said honestly. Maybe because you make it impossible for me to pretend anymore. Barrett smiled softly. Fair enough. A silence, but this time a not uncomfortable, just real. Adler. Yeah. Barrett stepped closer. This time, even closer. Very close. I don't want this to only exist in the rehearsal room. My heart pounded. Me neither. Then don't let it. I looked at him, then nodded. Okay. No need for more words. No need to define it. No need for labels. Just stop hiding. And for the first time, I felt like I was no longer standing between two worlds. No longer actor and person. No longer fake and real. Just me. With him. But I didn't know how long that fragile balance would last. Everything is always most beautiful right before it starts to break. I should have known that, but I didn't. You have a visitor, my roommate said as I walked in. I frowned. Who? He shrugged. Dunno. Been standing outside for a while. I turned and saw Barrett. He didn't usually come to my dorm. Not for any specific reason. It was just we always met in safer places. The studio, the bar, empty parts of campus. Places where things could stay within certain limits. But today, he was here, outside my door, in broad daylight, no place to hide. What's going on? I asked as I walked up. Barrett looked at me, his eyes, not like usual, not calm, but tense. I need to talk to you. My heart tightened slightly. Doesn't sound like good news. It's not bad. Then what is it? Barrett didn't answer right away. He glanced around, as if deciding whether to say it here. Let's go somewhere, he said. We walked behind the dorm. A quiet corner. Too quiet. Okay, I said, crossing my arms. Talk. Barrett took a deep breath. Once. Then said, I got an offer. From New York. He nodded. Not surprising. Not that one. I frowned. Then what? A silence. Then a director came to watch yesterday's rehearsal. My heart skipped. And he wants me to audition for a new project. I nodded lightly. Sounds good. In Los Angeles. Not New York. Not the original plan. A different direction. A different path. How long? I asked. 3 months. 3 months. Not long, but not short. Long enough to change a lot of things. You're going? I asked even though I already knew the answer. Barrett looked at me. No dodging. Yeah. When? After the final performance. My chest tightened. The final show. The final role. The very last role. Good, I said. One word. Short, neat, and completely not enough. Barrett frowned. That's it. I shrugged. What do you want me to say? I don't know. Congratulations. I laughed dryly. Wish you success? Adler. I thought that was what you wanted. It is, Barrett said, but not like this. I turned away, not wanting to look at him anymore. So how do you want me to react? Honestly. I laughed. This time, nothing was funny. Honestly. I turned back. Fine. You want honest? Barrett didn't back down. Yeah. I took a deep breath, then said, I hate it. The air froze. Are you happy now? Barrett didn't say anything, just looked at me, waiting, always waiting. I hate that you can leave so easily. I continued, my voice shaking even though I tried to stay calm. I hate that everything between us is just a small part of your plan. It's not. And I hate that I have no right to make you stay. The last sentence landed. Real. Irreversible. A long silence. Heavy. Suffocating. I don't see it as small. Barrett's voice broke the quiet. I scoffed. Oh, really? Yeah. Then why are you still going? That question was the one I feared most, because I knew there was no answer that would satisfy me. Barrett looked at me. No dodging. Because it's what I've been working toward this whole time. I nodded. Right? Of course. But. No buts. I cut him off. You've already chosen. Adler. I get it, I said quickly. Really, it's a huge opportunity. You can't miss it just because. I stopped. Didn't finish. But we both knew what I was going to say. Just because of me. Barrett stepped forward. Faster than usual. It's not just because of you. I smiled bitterly. Then what is it? It's because we both have things we want. I looked at him for a long time, then said, and this time, they don't overlap. A simple sentence, but enough to shift everything. You think I don't want this? Barrett asked. I don't know what you want, I replied, because you've never said it clearly. Then I'll say it now. One step. He moved closer. I want you. My heart stuttered. One beat, but I didn't let it show. But you're still leaving. And I also want my future. That sentence was the truth, and the most painful one. I'm not asking you to choose, I said, voice low. But you are. I know what you're thinking. Barrett cut me off. You think if I go, then this doesn't mean anything. I stayed silent, because that was exactly what I was thinking. But it does, he said. It still means something. For now, I replied. One word, but sharp enough to cut. Barrett took a step back. For the first time, during the entire conversation, I don't want it to be just temporary. I smiled faintly, but it is. Not if we don't let it be. I shook my head. You don't get it. Then explain. I can't do this, I gestured between us. With someone I know is going to leave. Then what do you want? That question, I didn't have an answer. Or I did, but I didn't dare say it. I don't know, I said finally, and that was the truth. Okay, Barrett said. His voice returned to calm. Too fast. Too easy. I'm going. I nodded. Yeah. And we'll finish this play. Yeah. And after that. He paused. I looked at him, waiting, like always, but this time, I wasn't sure I wanted to hear the answer. After that, Barrett said. We'll see. I didn't like that answer, not one bit, but I had nothing better. Okay, I said, one word, but heavier than any other. We stood there. And for the first time, I felt a distance between us, not physical, but something deeper, harder to cross. And I didn't know whether we could fill it or not. We kept rehearsing, as if nothing had happened, as if that conversation had never existed. But it was there, in every avoided glance, in every half-swallowed line, in every time we stood too close, but didn't touch. From the top. The director said, voice starting to lose patience. The emotion is off. I gripped the script tighter, not because I didn't know what to do, but because I knew too well, but I couldn't reach it anymore. Adler. Barrett's voice rang out, calm, familiar, but distant. Focus. I laughed dryly. Easy for you to say. You're letting off-stage stuff affect on stage. I looked at him. And you're not. A silence. But this time, Barrett didn't answer. Let's take 15, the director said, rubbing his forehead. I need you two to come back with the right emotion. I walked out immediately. Didn't want to stay another second. The air in the studio too heavy. Too many unsaid things. I don't think we can keep going like this. Barrett's voice came from behind. I didn't turn around. Then don't. Adler. I already said. I turned, voice sharp. If you can't do it then. It's not me. I froze. Then what is it? Barrett stepped closer. It's us. A simple sentence, but enough to stop everything. We're not acting anymore, he said. We're avoiding. I laughed. Oh, you're just realizing that now? You're using sarcasm to hide how scared you are. I'm not scared. You're scared of losing control. I clenched my fists. At least I admit it, I replied. What about you? You think you're controlling everything? Barrett didn't react right away. But I saw. A small crack. Very small. But real. I can't control how much I want you, he said. No dodging. But I can control what I do with my life. That sentence, once again, pushed us in opposite directions. Then go ahead, I said. Go to LA. Build your career. Don't let me get in the way. You're not in the way. Then what am I? Barrett looked at me. Something that makes everything complicated. I smiled, but there was no joy. Sounds like another way of saying, in the way. No, he shook his head. Complicated doesn't mean not worth it. My heart stuttered, but I didn't let it show. I don't want to be the complicated thing in someone's life, I said. I want to be the choice. You are the choice, Barrett said, but not the only one. The most honest answer, and the most painful one. Then that's enough. I turned away, didn't want to hear more, didn't want to know more, didn't want to feel more. Adler. I didn't stop. Adler, look at me. I didn't turn. We still have one more show. I paused, just a little, then focus on that. That's what I'm trying to do. Good. But I can't do it alone. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, then turned back. So what do you want? Barrett stepped closer. This time he didn't stop at a safe distance, but closer, much closer. Forget everything else. I can't. For 2 hours on stage you can. I looked at him for a long time, then asked, and after that? Barrett stayed silent, then said, after that, we'll face it. I didn't like that answer, but I had no other choice. Okay, I said, one word, but this time different. No more defense, no more hiding, just acceptance. The final performance came faster than I expected. Too fast. Not enough time to prepare. Not enough time to understand. Not enough time to let go. Backstage was noisy. Lights, voices, smell of makeup, everything familiar. But today, different, heavier, more important. You okay? One of the actors asked me. I nodded. I'm fine. Another lie, but this time, I didn't care. Adler. I turned. Barrett was standing there, in costume, same as me, but his eyes, no longer the Barrett from rehearsals, but a different version. This is the last time, he said. I nodded. I know. A silence. Not long. Don't hold anything back. Barrett said, I won't. Not for the role. I looked at him. For what? Barrett stepped closer. Very close. For us. My heart pounded. I don't even know what us is anymore. Then find out. No more time. No more chances. Only the stage. 5 minutes, someone shouted. I stood in the wings, looking out at the lights, listening to the audience, heart racing, but not from fear, because I knew this wasn't just a performance. It was the last time I could say everything, not as Adler, but as myself. Ready? Barrett stood beside me. I nodded. Ready. And when we stepped onto the stage lights poured down, blinding, unforgiving. But this time, I wasn't swallowed by them. I stepped out, not as an actor, but as myself. The first scenes passed quickly, too quickly, like I was watching a fast-forwarded film of my own life. Lines, transitions, light applause, all there, but I didn't cling to them, didn't need to. Because I knew everything was leading to one single moment. The final scene. I stood at the center of the stage, the light only on me, everything else swallowed in darkness, as if the world had shrunk to just one person, one choice. Barrett stepped out, from the shadows, into the light. And in that moment, I no longer saw the audience, no longer heard the sound, only him. I tried to forget you, I said, my voice steady, not broken, but real. Barrett stopped, a few steps away, not close, not far, exactly the distance we had kept all these days. But you're still here, he replied. I stepped forward, one step, then another, breaking that distance. Because I can't. Not a line, not acting, but the truth. A long silence, deep, full. Barrett looked at me, not as a character, but as me. Then don't forget, he said, voice low, certain. I smiled faintly, not from joy, but because I finally understood. I don't want to forget, I said, but I also don't want to lose you. One heartbeat, two. Barrett stepped closer. This time, not slow. No hesitation. You won't lose me, he said. I shook my head. You're leaving. The air changed. No longer acting. No longer the story. But... Yeah, Barrett said. I'm leaving. A silence. No music. No transition. Just the truth. Then tell me... I moved closer, voice cracking. What am I supposed to do with all of this? I touched my chest. Not according to the script, but because I didn't know where else to put it. Barrett looked at me, eyes holding nothing back. Don't hold it in, he said. I froze. What? Don't hold it in, Barrett repeated. Don't try to turn it into something fixed. Don't lock it into an ending. I breathed fast. Then what? Barrett stepped closer, very close. Just let it be real. A simple sentence, but for the first time, I understood. Not everything real has to last forever. Not everything real has to have a perfect ending. But that didn't make it any less real. I looked at him for a long time. So this is real? I asked. Yeah. Even if it doesn't last? Barrett nodded lightly. Yeah. 1 second, 2 seconds. And then, I stepped forward. Not because of the script, not because of the role, but because I wanted to. I kissed him. Not hard, not rushed, but slow, deep, complete, as if I were memorizing every second. Barrett's arms tightened around me, not holding back, not stopping. Just there, with me. And in that moment, I didn't think about tomorrow, didn't think about LA, didn't think about the end. Just thought, this is real. Cut. The director's voice rang out. But no one moved. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3. Then the applause erupted. Loud, long, endless. But I didn't hear it because I was still looking at Barrett. And he was looking at me. No more distance, no more boundaries. Only this moment. After the show, backstage was chaos, laughter, congratulations, people calling names. But it all blurred. Amazing. Someone patted my shoulder. I nodded, didn't remember who. Adler. Barrett's voice. I turned. He was standing there, no longer in costume, no lights. Just Barrett. We need to talk. I nodded. Yeah. We left backstage, went outside. No crowd, no lights. Just the night. So, I said, now what? Barrett looked at me. Now, I'm still leaving. My heart tightened, but this time, it didn't hurt like before. Yeah, I said, I know. A silence. But, he added. I looked up. But I don't want to lose you. My heart pounded. Then don't. I said. It's not that simple. Nothing between us has ever been simple. Barrett smiled faintly, this time warmer. True. 1 second, 2 seconds. Then we'll try, he said. Try what? Try to see how far this can go. I looked at him for a long time, then nodded. Okay. Not a promise, not a commitment. Just one step. And this time, I wasn't afraid anymore. Because no matter what happened, I knew one thing. It had been real. And that was